Good morning, everyone. Good Monday morning. It definitely feels like a Monday morning, but I'm pleased to be here. I'm Maggie Greenfield, and I'm the Executive Director of the Bronx River Alliance, which is a nonprofit that's on a mission to protect, improve, and restore the Bronx River. So there is really no issue of more consequence to New York City's future than adapting to our changing climate. And city leaders are already taking aggressive steps to protect neighborhoods and infrastructure from powerful storms, extreme heat, and sea level rise. But we know we have to do more. We need more capital investment in climate resiliency, and we need city leaders to use those investments to create economic opportunity in environmental justice communities. We can do this by creating something like a civilian climate corps that could bring jobs to the neighborhoods that need them most, while also, creating like real world help on the ground for our needs. So what am I talking about, and how could this work? So I'd like to look at one climate resiliency tool, which is green infrastructure. So these are water-absorbing features in our city, like green roofs or porous pavement or rain gardens. And the point is to reduce the amount of raw sewage overflow into our local waterways, while also cooling neighborhoods and reducing localized flooding. 10 years ago, New York City published its first green infrastructure plan, and since then has rolled out thousands of rain gardens across the city. So how's that going? Not so great. The city has not met its own milestones to construct these features, and we're not doing a particularly good job of taking care of the features that we have already. A 2019 New York City Comptroller audit found that rain gardens are not being maintained well enough to meet their environmental purpose. This is not untypical in communities like the South Bronx. So we know we're not getting the environmental benefits in all areas of the city, so how are we doing about jobs? Similarly, not so great. Our green infrastructure maintenance staff are underfunded and consist of roving crews who visit sites infrequently. New York City can do better. We can look at models like the Philadelphia Power Corps that has created community-based jobs to steward green infrastructure, as well as creating a really thoughtfully crafted career ladder into management for those positions. Here in New York City, the RAIN Coalition is another such model to consider. And we can fund, we're just talking about revenue, we can fund this program with a stormwater fee. Philly and hundreds of cities across the country have such a fee. New York City does not. The point is to charge property owners not just for the amount of water they take in, but for the amount of water they discharge into the city's overburdened sewer system. And there's two key points here to consider. One is that this fee could be structured to avoid burdening low-income property owners, and that property owners who install green infrastructure on their own property would pay a reduced fee. So a stormwater fee would both incentivize green infrastructure on private property with all of the benefits that it brings, and it would create a fund for New York City's own civilian climate corps, and this would tackle both economic and environmental injustices at the same time. Thank you.